Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we are here to have another conversation about Ghana football politics. And you might have heard that George Afriyie's quest to have the decision of the elections committee to disqualify him from contesting the GFA presidential elections reversed has failed. The attempt, which was submitted on September 8th, and with supplementary documents submitted on September 11, were deemed by the appeals committee of the Ghana Football Association as not good enough to overturn the decision of the elections committee to have his name on the ballot paper contest Kurt Okreku for the GFA elections. So this literally means that Kurt Okreku would be contesting for the position of the GFA president later this year, unopposed. So if he's going unopposed, I don't even see the necessity of flying delegates to Tamale for that process. But anyway, laws are laws. You would have to thumbprint and approve that the person should be in charge of the governance of football in this country. But I'm not here to talk about the appeal failure or the attempts to have the decision overturned been unsuccessful. I'm here to send out a message to George Afriyie. It is more of an open letter that I'm writing to George Afriyie, and I'm using this medium to write him that letter. I know, Mr. George Afriyie, currently you are busy. You are a busy man. And you are busy for various reasons. You have a business that you've got to run. You want to become the GFA president, and your efforts per people within are being impeded by powers that be when it comes to the leadership of football in this country. So I wouldn't want to bore you so much by being too elaborative of what I want to communicate to you. The simple thing I want to tell you, Mr. George Afriyie, is that give up. Just give up. Don't try chasing it. Yes, it is within your right to appeal. The appeal has not been successful. And you might want to go further and have higher authority interpret the regulations of the GFA. But listen to me. It's a suggestion. Give up. Just give up. I'm saying give up, and I'll give you a chronology of why. First, I know you are very much aware of this, because if I am aware, what about you, the person they didn't even want to contest in the first place? As far back as March, when it was not even clear that there was going to be a GFA presidential election later this year, in as much as we knew that the tenure of Kurt Okreku was coming to an end this year, there was nothing definite that the GFA were going to release a roadmap many months to come for people who are interested to occupy various positions within the Ghana Football Association to pick nomination forms. But as far back as March, April, that is, if my memory serves me right, I'm in the shadow. very close to the GFA president, the chief executive officer of Dreams FC, the team manager of the Black Stars, had spoken to Tony Appiah. Tony Appiah is George Afriyie's very good friend or brother. And told him that they should talk to you, Mr. George Afriyie, not to contest the GFA elections. I don't know if Tony Appiah has told you, but this was far back as March, April, May. If Tony Appiah did not tell you, I knew. As far back as April, the people in charge of the governance of football had a clear message. Keto Kreko should go unopposed. He should be given an opportunity to lead the football family for the next 4 years. And there was another part of that message which said, Mr. Afriyie, if you decide to contest the FA elections, you'll be throwing your money away. Forget about the conspiracy theories that this is a well-orchestrated plan not to have you contest the elections. You can make of the message whatever you want to make of it. But if you're told not to contest the elections, if you're told if you try contesting the elections, you're wasting your money. You still defy all these and contested the elections. And Mr. Afriyie, you should have covered your tracks. Do not put yourself in a position where someone who do not want you to contest him would have a lacuna to take advantage of. So that lacuna was created and people had to take advantage of it. But like I said, forget about the conspiracy theories. It could be a coincidence. It could be a coincidence because when they were lobbying you not to contest, I don't know if the word gerrymander is appropriate, but when they were lobbying you not to contest, I'm not too sure they knew that even if you try contesting, you'll be disqualified. When they said if you try contesting, you're going to waste your money, I'm not too sure they knew that this was what was going to happen. But I feel that this is a well-orchestrated thing. The second thing that I will need to add is the fact that when you submitted your nomination forms, it took a petition for the elections committee to know that indeed Geoffrey Asari is not a signatory of Victory Warriors FC, the club whose endorsement they say has been invalidated. So, how did the elections committee do this? Who filed the petition? People are struggling to give in the name of the person who filed the petition. There were 4 petitions. 10,000 Ghana cedis that you gave to, was it Tano Bafuakwa to renovate the Coronation Park? They claim it was vote buying. And also, Victory Warriors FC, Geoffrey Asari not being the signatory of the club. And also, a text message you sent to Kwesi Nyantechi. The first, like, the other 3, what I got at was that the committee said they were frivolous, so they were never going to pay so much attention to them. So they allowed those ones to pass through. But guess what? The most powerful petition was that petition that Geoffrey Asari is not a signatory. Do you know the person who did? If you know the person who did, then you should have known that this was likely to happen. You shouldn't have left a room for anyone to actually open the door of failure. You created a room, they opened it. So I think that, Mr. George Afriyie, there's no system within the FA that will grant you your request. You're either going to a higher court or the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Court of Arbitration for Sport, I do not think. I'm just saying, it is your money. If you have the resources to do it, go and get the right thing to be done. But to me, to go and spend about $100,000 at cash just to have this decision overturned, Mr. George Afriyie, channel the money into something better. By the time you realize the next FA elections will be here, 2028. And if you want to contest, if you still have the ambitions, now you do the right thing. Again, I think Leslie Kuku Battles, the sole shareholder of Victory Warriors FC, Mr. Afriyie, if the Chiman 11 Wonders were close, why did you ask Kuku Battles, who is in Germany, and he had to delegate someone to sign on your behalf? Yes, I can understand that everyone wants to deal with people they trust. So maybe you trusted Kuku Battles, New Edibiasi, Ediana Stars, Brecum Chelsea, Brecum City. Maybe those were the people you trusted. But 11 Wonders were also available. And another thing, maybe you wanted to avoid a situation where maybe 11 Wonders, they probably already endorsed Kurt, and when you come, this one becomes an issue. I can clearly understand that. But if that was the issue, I'm not sure people would have had many qualms. What has happened? That would mean that two things. It would have meant two things. A negligence on your part not to be certain who the club already endorsed, and the other aspect would have been that the club too failed to be loyal. So many people could have forgiven you for this. But this one, the commentaries around it suggest that it was more of a fraud perpetuated. That's where I think that you created a room for people to have a go at you. So please, if I were to suggest, allow it to go. I've seen people, especially one of the most respectable figures within Ghanaian football, someone of great legal knowledge, Ernest Thompson, talk about members endorsing a candidate and not officials. I'm not a lawyer. I will not pretend to be one. In fact, I've done something little. Business law. In the business law, it was not even something I focused on a lot to study when I was doing my MBA. So it's not an area I would claim to have knowledge of. But in company law, right, a company is an entity on its own. But the company acts through individuals. It acts through officials. So, say, Muftao Group of Companies, or let me say, George Afriyie Group of Companies. George Afriyie Group of Companies cannot enter into a legal binding agreement without George Afriyie signing documents, or people who are signatory of George Afriyie Group of Companies signing documents on behalf of the company. So clearly, I think that in as much as it is members who endorse, and the members here, per the statutes of the FA, are the clubs, It is, and in as much as it is members who endorse, let's also not forget that officials act on behalf of the members. It's like you're asking New Edibiasi, the club, to. It has to take Abdul Salam to act on behalf of a club. It has to take George Jew to act on behalf of Eddie Stars. Because the clubs don't do it themselves. That's what, from where I sit, that explanation, well, law is heavily dependent on interpretation. But that's where, from where I sit, that the argument that it's members who endorse and all that, yeah, I understand. But people act on behalf of the members of the FA. And just to sign it out, pretty quick, you would have to appreciate the fact that this was a challenge you could not come out. But these things happen to make us better. Yes, the grounds of appeal was not heard. They did not even touch it. But I would say better luck next time. Probably it was never your time to be GFA president. Forget about the spiritual things that some spiritual people have told Kurt Okreku's camp that if they allow George Afriyie to go through, Kurt will lose the elections and all that. Forget about those things. It could be true, it could be false. There are things I have heard, but just like what happened 4 years ago, where Mr. George Afriyie didn't have a plan B when the elections pendulum appeared to have swung in his way. Here, you've once again failed to do something. A simple power of attorney could have resolved all this. Where were the lawyers in all this? The lawyers, the likes of Ntom Fianku. And in fact, it's even interesting. Why would you, George Afriyie, be struggling to get members to endorse you? And that has always been my position. If the members of the FA are not happy with the way Kurt Okreko is managing the GFA, they've got the power to take him out of office. If they want you to come, it was easier. They should just endorse you to go and contest. Why were you struggling to get people to endorse you? It made no sense. They decide who leads the FA. But they could not even endorse you. They want to go to the booth and vote for you. Oh, Mr. Afriyie, better like next time. You have to try next time, because give up. That's all I can say.